In this week's episode of Monkey Shorts, I'd like to show you the collection of about 3 cool tips together here. One of them is an alternative use for the dev prod switch that I showed you in last week's episode of Monkey Shorts. We're also going to look at dynamic header rows and referring to a previous step name. So to start with, let's take a look at the data here. I have table 1. You'll notice there's 2 blank rows here. I've got table 2, same data, but only 1 blank row, or same form of data at any rate. We've got a little switch here that allows us to choose between table 1 and table 2. And down in selected table here, if I use that switch, you can see right now we've got a 2-row header. And if I go back to table 1, change it to table 2, we've got a 2-row header in this case. The problem is, of course, the header row is in a different place. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to go and solve that little issue. I'm going to start by adding an index column. And this is going to be an index column from 0. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter my first column here to where the word has date, because that is my header for the first row. I'm going to remove all of the columns here. We're going to say remove other columns, right click and drill down into my index number. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this down here. I'm going to rename this and I'm going to call this one remove, remove rows. There we go. And now I'm going to click the little FX button and I'm going to change this out to be source. So we're referring to a previous step name here. And now when I go and hit OK on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and say I'd like to remove rows, remove top rows, and I'm going to just choose to use 1 row because I can't refer to a previous step name here. But right here where it says table skip, I'm going to change this out now to remove rows, the previous step name. There we go, and hit enter, and it should remove 1 row, so I can now promote these as headers, set this as a nice little data type, and replace the current, and at this point in time, I've got a nice little table here. The question is, does it work if I switch to the other table? So let's go back over here, use table, we're going to change it to table 1, and if we go back to selected table, everything looks good. Let me refresh that preview. It looks great. Why? Well, because we have the source with 2 blank rows, we've added an index, we've filtered it down. Notice we start 0, 1, 2, so this is the number of blank rows ahead of us. We're going to filter those down, remove those rows, and there we go, we drill in, and now when we refer back to our source and remove top rows, we remove top 2 in this case. So at this point now, I can go and load this out. I've got dynamic header rows combined with a different use of the dev prod switch that I showed you in last week's episode as well.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monkey Shorts. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to click on the Skillwave logo on the bottom left in order to subscribe to our channel. Or if you'd like to see more videos in the series, click on the playlist tile on the right. And if you'd like to get more comprehensive training, you should definitely check out our website at skillwave.training.